Very well, very well. Let me.
Magdi, was just one question. I'm speaking with Jenny, my friend Jenny. Do you know
Yes,
her?
yes, I do.
Ah, she need to download the Google Plus, right?
Yes, yes.
And after that, she asked for invitation for you. How
Oh,
you do
yes,
this?
yes. I need to send her an invitation. Uh, Actually, I'm gonna send her an invitation right now. I have her email address.
Ah, okay. You have your email address. Great.
Yes, one moment.
Hmm?
Jenny. Um, yeah, I
Google
am
Plus.
looking. I am looking for her email address. I have it here somewhere.
En este momento está hablando con Magdi y él te va a mandar una invitación a tu correo electrónico.
Sí, el correo, sí, Julia Now. Sí, sí,
Exacto.
yo le tengo. Un minuto.
Un minuto.
Espera. Julia Now at Raxa. At
Vos metes
raxa.co.cr.
sí.
Sí, sí. Hello, Christine. Sí, yo mando la invitación ahora. Él necesita download the plugin, ¿sí? De Hangout,
Exacto.
¿sí?
Okay, perfect.
Ok,
Great.
Álvaro. Ok, Álvaro. Um, Hello, Christine. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Oh, good, good. Well, welcome. Nice to see you. In case you hear any echo, uh, you can just mute your mic, but it sounds like the sound is good now, so there is no need to do anything.
Okay.
And what I do is I usually wait a few minutes, and then if there are any questions, you can pause them. And sometimes people send questions. I receive them on my phone or on my Google page, and I'll share them and answer them. I think that Jenny is trying to get online. Invite her. Okay. There is also a chat box. If you're familiar with that, then you can, if you don't want to.
No.
You know where it is, Christine, no? If you go up to the left, upper left
No, I'm just
corner.
looking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine is on the upper
Arrow.
left corner. If you move your cursor around, just you move your cursor around.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, you see that little blue thing?
I found it.
Yeah, if you press it, it opens a chat box to the right.
Right. Yeah. Well, something opens, but oh, hang on a second. Here we no. I'm using it on my iPad, so
Oh, okay.
it might be a little bit different. I'm just kind of looking here to see if I can figure out where it is.
Yeah, with me, when I move my cursor around on the upper left side of the screen, the icons show up.
Well, I have icons on the bottom that
Oh, on
come
the
up,
bottom.
but they seem to be just the microphone, the video,
Okay.
You
And
know,
the phone, you know, the red phone and the little person, right, to add. Right. Yeah, I have that at the top of my screen. Maybe it's on the right side of your screen, or
yeah,
I
I'm
don't know.
tapping everywhere. Something opens
Right.
when I the left, but it looks like a contacts page pops up, but there's nowhere to
Okay.
type. I
Okay.
don't know. If somebody starts typing, I'll be able to find it later.
Actually, I already typed. I'm just typing hello right now. So
Well,
otherwise, you could just,
I'll just
speak.
listen.
Yeah, whatever.
I should have done this on my laptop, and I will maybe
Yeah.
for next.
Okay, I'm getting a message. Let me respond to Tay. Yes, got the mail plugin and I am in, but do not appear on my friend list and I cannot see how to add you on mine. Oh boy. Let me give her my email address. There's my email. Yes, some people are new joining, and so there is a little technicality.
Like me?
Well, no, you're there online. I could see you, and you hear me and hear you. That's wonderful.
And I have a chat box, so that's good.
That's a big part of the hangout. Okay, T is trying to add me. Let me invite her again. Let's see, her address is tcradio.com. And then I'm going to invite her. Okay, so she's just been invited. Hello, Lee. Can you hear me? I see you
Yeah.
have joined. Oh, hello. Okay, yes, I hear you. So if you speak, Lee, just a couple of words. I want to make sure that I have a good connection with you.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, wonderful, great. Okay.
Great.
And Christine, you're able to hear Lee as well?
I can hear you really clear.
And how about Lee? Did you hear Lee speak to me?
I heard Christine.
Okay, she smiles. So I'm going to take her smile as what a smile is worth 1,000 words. I am waiting a couple of minutes. A couple of people are trying to join us. So just a reminder, if you do hear an echo during the hangout, just check if your mic is muted. Otherwise, I can mute you myself from here, which is good. So welcome to Satsang. It's just a reminder that Satsang is a meeting in truth, meaning it is not a meeting between people. It's not a meeting between men and women, between persons. You could say it's a meeting of the heart. It's the heart meeting itself, what we truly are, expressing itself, recognizing itself, being itself. Satsang is out of time. It is not a moment in time. It is not a time event. It is an event that is not a non-event. It's a non-event where the mind comes to stillness and where the stillness moves to the forefront. So welcome to Satsang. What we truly are is never hidden. Welcome, Ilse. It is ever present. It is the consciousness that hears these words. Whatever it is that hears these words, right now, there is an undeniable hearing of these words. There is an undeniable presence that precedes you, as a person, that precedes you as a man or a woman, that precedes you as a mother or a father or a brother. This presence is not an objective presence, meaning it is not a mind event. It is not observed via the senses. It is not recognized via the senses. It is not recognized via the mind. It is only recognized via reality. It is only recognized via truth, meaning it is only recognized via the eternal, meaning it's only recognized by itself. Consciousness is self-aware, it's self-cognitive, it's self-cognition. This cognition of consciousness, meaning this cognition of awareness, of presence, of truth, is a direct cognition. It does not go through any path. It is not hidden, and there are no methods or techniques needed, required for this self-knowing. One moment. Gonzalo. Gonzalo, if you can hear me, I believe if you go to your Google page, up in the upper right corner, there is a bell. So if you click on the bell, you will have the invitation. And I'm not certain after that how to proceed. I guess if you just accept the invitation, you should be able to get on screen, to get on the screen. I know you've done it before. Maybe somebody can help. Gonzalo is asking me what to press in order to be on the screen. You know, Gonzalo, if you move your cursor around, there should be somewhere a little icon with a camera. Double check if your video is turned on. Let's see. Well, maybe Gonzalo will figure it out. Sure. I've always sent the invitation. I've never accepted the invitations, so I don't know how to point to how to join. I guess you just accept the invitation and you're on. I'm not sure.
I just clicked view invitation.
Yes, right.
In email.
Right. In the email, right. Yeah, let me...
The view invitation. I clicked that.
Right, and that gets you on, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that takes me to...
It takes you to...
Takes me to a Google Plus page, and in the upper right-hand corner, there's something that says Hangouts.
Right,
so
right.
I click that.
Right.
And that takes me to the video, live video.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Lee. That's helpful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just sharing that with Gonzalo by sending him a little message. Okay, so, right. Yeah. So if you have any questions, you can speak them or type them in the chat.
I have a question.
Yes.
I think I do anyways. So where I get hooked all the time is with the personal. So what happened last weekend for me is my daughter got dumped by her boyfriend, and I have a hard time watching her heart break, and so it becomes very personal for me. So to just be open-hearted and with her, I had all kinds of stuff come up for me. There was some relating to what she was going through, and there was, of course, me wanting to protect her, a little bit of anger, but I just see that when this stuff comes up, I have a really hard time being impersonal with it. So I don't know if there's really a question or just maybe some advice.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, we've all gone through being dumped, and at some time even dumping somebody. Relationships, we all sort of grow somehow through relationships. At least that's my experience, and I believe most of us have learned about ourselves through relationships and through the ups and downs of relationships. So you have to be careful not to deprive your daughter from her experience, from her path. It's might seem to be sort of a difficult time, and maybe at the surface it is, but there is always a hidden message, a helpful hidden message somehow in the in the midst of our suffering. We might not get it right away, or we might not even get it at all. But somehow having to go through the heat cures us. Not it's part of our maturing process, part of our learning how to relate. At one hand, meaning we learn how to listen, how to share, how to explore with another, with our partner, how to explore and how to live with. Hello, Jenny. Welcome to the Satsang. So that is at the mundane level. There is a learning process that occurs in relationships through the difficulty of relationships, and that's a good thing, because life doesn't give you everything that you want, and you learn that the hard way in a relationship. So there is a learning aspect to that. The other aspect of the difficulty that we have in relationships is the learning, the realization that our happiness cannot be attained through a worldly event in relationships, or through worldly situations. That our happiness, or the happiness that depends on somebody else, or that depends on a relationship, is not the real happiness, does not last. So it's an important learning, and the degree of our suffering as a result of a breakdown in a relationship depends or is in proportion to our expectation that our happiness resides in the relationship. So in a way, once you understand that, you could share that with your daughter and with her friend, if her partner is somebody who's also your friend. You could share with them that again, there has to be a willingness to understand, to listen, to hear. And most often there isn't. It's very rare to have that level of maturity. It takes a long time for a fruit to ripen on the tree. It's a very slow process. But for yourself, it's important that you understand that at the worldly level, in relationships, we learn how to relate with each other in the tribe, in the family, in the group, in the culture, in the society, the organization. And we learn by getting pushed back when we push too far, or the group teaches us how to behave in the relationship. We learn that as well. So there is that dimension. But most importantly is to understand that your happiness is not possible. There is no happiness in any event or in any relationship. So, but talking about your own disarray when you see your daughter going through her suffering, so as parents we have a tendency to restrict our children with our love. We sometimes even suffocate them with our love. In other words, we become so concerned about them that they pick up our concerns. They become concerned just as a result of our own concerns. While when we are simply present to our child, if you're present to your daughter, without perceiving the situation as being a tragic situation, she will pick up, she will feel your ease, she will feel your comfort, and rather than her disarray or her upsetness, rather than increasing, it's calmed down, it's calmed by your calm presence. So it's sort of difficult to do when you feel there is a danger is happening to you, where there is a sense of imminent doom or sense of loss. So in our contemplation, it's important to distinguish between the images on the screen that keep changing and the screen that is changeless. In this case, the images on the screen are the events and the breakdown between your daughter and her boyfriend, the emotions, the feelings and emotions, the thoughts, feelings and emotions that arise are images on the screen. If every time an image on the screen arises, the screen experiences the image, be more clear. If when there is a a crime on the screen. The screen starts bleeding. The screen remains untouched by the images that arise on it. But when the identification is strong, meaning when we are identified with the events as happening to me, meaning when there is a me identity that is very identified with the events, then the peace and the tranquility is shaken up, is not there. So in terms of the best way you could help your daughter is by being at peace as she's going through whatever she's going through. And she can benefit from the peace that you are feeling, that you are living. So when you are watching out the window in the forest, and there is wind blowing through the forest, and some trees are blown over by the wind, you're okay. I mean, you watch it, but you don't feel any sense of panic or a sense of danger. But when you're looking out and you see something happening to your daughter, it's very different. You feel like something very terrible is happening to you, to your daughter, to your family. So if you can adopt the position that you are looking at everything that is happening as you are watching the weather, and that it is God's wind that blows through the forest. Hello, Tay. Nice to see
Hi,
you.
Magdi.
Hello, wonderful. Finally, I'm glad to see you online with us here. Just a quick note, if you hear any echo, just mute your mic, but the sound is really good now.
Okay.
So as I was saying, if you can watch all events that are occurring as being, as you're watching the weather, and that all the events are directed, are conceived, they're created by God, by the divine. It is God's will for your daughter's relationship to break down right now, for her to break up with her boyfriend. It's God's wish. And you can love God using the religious terminology, but sometimes I use this terminology, sometimes I talk about consciousness as being the divine intelligence, the divine order. So it is God who is wishing that. And of course, all truth lovers love God, meaning love the truth, love the eternal. And out of that love will give you a lot of wisdom and will soften and open your heart rather than your mind. Because the mind lives in history, or her story. It lives in the past. It lives in belief systems. It operates out of contractions, out of trauma. It operates out of fear and anxiety. And the core fear that the mind operates from is the fear of annihilation, the fear of death. And this fear of death is a result of our identification, the identification of consciousness with the body-mind. Body-minds are temporal, they are mortal. And so it is this identification with mortality that veils our eternity. And the veil, through the veil, the perception is not clear. It is foggy, like you are watching through a frosted window. You do not see clearly. And all you see, all you experience are your contractions, are your fears. So you do not hear the voice of God. It's important that you recognize that everything that is occurring, every moment, every instant, is an eternal moment that is designed, that is conceived and created by God and is experienced by God. There is no other experiencer. So to remind you of just a couple of pointers, if you can look at all events that occur, in this case, whatever is happening with your daughter, from that place of peace, from that place of tranquility, that will be the best way you could help her and help yourself. Because peace is what our heart desires.
Thank you.
And also, Christine, your daughter is not your daughter. Your daughter is pure love and light, and beauty, sweetness, and great love. Your daughter is great, great love. If you recognize the love in her, you recognize the love in yourself. No harm can ever occur to love. Once you understand that, you actually realize that there is no harm whatsoever. When the mind is at peace, it's not setting opposites. It's not setting this versus that, good versus bad. It doesn't say it's better for my daughter to ... It doesn't say that. It doesn't say it should be this way or why wasn't it that way. It doesn't say if only I had done this or that. When we recognize the truth, the love and the peace that we are, everything is embraced, everything is recognized as being holy and whole. Holy and whole. Perfect as it is, perfect as it is. All path, everything that occurs in the world, in the dream, is leading us towards our divine nature, towards the realization of what we truly are. There is no other path. There is only one path. That is the path to God, the path to the divinity, the path to truth. And everything that occurs is leading us home, is taking us home. It only gets delayed it gets delayed, the journey gets longer when we believe that we as a separate person, that the mind, that the I thought can lead us to happiness. When the I thought arises, the me sensation and all the thoughts that come with me, oh, I should do that way, isn't this happening to me? We are at the rest area, well, at the stop, we are at the standstill, or at a slow pace. We are in a slow pace in our journey home. So God sends you messages to relax and let go and trust her with your entirety, with your entire being, to completely trust her. And when you do, your journey towards her is accelerated. You just find yourself closer to God and moving faster towards God. That's the only journey. There is no other journey. This waking dream has that purpose, only the purpose to take you to the divine. It is not in order so you live longer, so you live healthier, so you have a better retirement or a better house or a better relationship. No. None of that. No, it's about none of that. So your daughter is on her way home, is on her way to God. And this experience that's being given to her right now is a divine gift. I would not touch it. I would not interfere with it. I would just be present, because presence is divine. Presence is utter peace and tranquility. It is stillness. It is awake, aware presence. That has no agenda, that is not trying to go towards a personal destination. It only has one destination. And that destination is the divine destination. So if you can observe all events that happen impersonally, not as they're happening to you. When we perceive things that are happening to me, it feels very threatening. So you could say that they are happening to consciousness. Not really happening to consciousness, but it's consciousness taking on this form. It takes on the form of sunny day, rainy day, whatever. It's not personal. It's not trying to protect anything. So if there are any other questions, anybody who has a question or something they want to explore. Can I have some water? Thank you. Thank you for the And you know what's lovely about looking at whatever is unfolding from an impersonal perspective is that it is confirmed to you when you look at whatever is unfolding from a personal perspective. That gets confirmed to you. Similarly, when you look at events from a personal perspective, that also gets confirmed to you. So in one case there is a contraction that gets confirmed, which is the personal contraction, and in another case it is the openness. When you are perceiving events impersonally, there is an openness, a relaxation. It's just a screen, the open screen of presence. And this screen is intelligent screen, because when it perceives a need to do something, a meal that needs to be cooked, or somebody that needs some assistance, it operates, it acts effortlessly out of that intelligence. While when you are in the personal, from the personal vantage point, then you're like measuring and wondering, oh, should I, shouldn't I, what would happen to me? And it's a very contracted way of operating, and the mind gets confused. And it's unhappy. Yes, Lee, I noticed that that somehow something happened to you being online, but I sent you another invitation when I noticed that. But I'm glad that you can still be with us with the audio. And as you you're careful not to maintain the I thought, because the I thought requires maintenance. You know, what's happening to me, what's happening to my daughter, what's happening to my job, what's happening to my life, what's happening to my enlightenment. It feeds upon itself. It's maintained, and I thought maintains itself via the I thought. as you do not feed it. In other words, when an I thought arises, the way you do not feed it is first by recognizing it. It's very important to recognize that you are right now heading in the, oh Haley, that you are right now heading in the personal belief system. It's important to recognize that. Because if you don't recognize it, it continues. And the way you recognize it is in your body. Because whenever there is an I thought, a me story, what's happening to me, am I doing the right thing, and will I ever be enlightened? Whenever the me quality gets engaged, there is a contraction in the body. You could feel it in your face, you could feel it in your neck, in your throat, or your neck, or your belly. So you can turn your attention. You can turn your attention to your body and notice the contraction in your body. So your body is sort of your laboratory. It expresses, it's your guide. It can point to you that, there is a contraction in the body. You could feel it. It's very close to you. And when you feel that contraction, it's very important not to judge it, not to go into, oh my God, why is this still happening? And why am I feeling this way? And I shouldn't be feeling this way. Not at all. Just come to the contraction like a doctor walks into a patient's room. The patient is concerned about their health and so on. The doctor opens the door, says, hello, how are you today? Looks at the chart, says, okay, takes the pulse and prescribes some medicine. So if you can approach whatever is happening in your body purely objectively, not with not being all stirred up. So you recognize, oh, there is a contraction. Interesting. Interesting. So you're interested in what is going on. And interest is different from being concerned or being panicked. So you become interested. And then you can go from the body sensation, from the body contraction, to what's going on. And you will notice that at that moment, you are taking the position of being a person and the other being another person. Whenever there is a person, whenever there is a belief in being a person, there is a contraction because we are pulling ourselves away from wholeness. When we pull ourselves, hello, Gonzalo, we figured it out. Hello. So whenever you pull yourself from wholeness, you experience an unhappiness. There is an angst because it's like you're pulled away from the source. So you notice first the contraction in the body, then you notice the I thought, the me, the belief that I'm a me, that I'm a person, and that the other person is another person. So you are in the separation. And when you notice that, you don't judge it. You simply recognize it to be a cosmic event. In other words, it's just God thinking those thoughts. Not you. Just God thinking that, okay, I am this person and she or he is another person. And at that moment of recognition that it is not a personal event, you will find the peace. Another way of putting it is that you are not maintaining the I thought. You are not maintaining the illusion of separation. you have to find your way around that. You have to explore. You have to explore that. To find how you can come to that impersonal relationship with whatever is happening. So you run your own exploration. I give you some hints. I'm just giving you some hints. But you have to conduct your own experiments. I cannot conduct them for you. Then you will find that then maybe one moment. I think we need to mute. If you can, there's some noise in the background. If you can watch your. So as I was saying, so if there are any comments or any questions, anything that you want to explore or share.
Magdi, you hear me?
Yes, hello. Yes, Gonzalo.
How are you?
Very well. Hello, Gonzalo.
Fine. Took me a long time to find the right click.
Yes, I'm glad you figured it out. Now you know.
I'm not sure.
Right. I know it. I have the same. Sometimes I think I have figured out something, and next day I am starting from scratch all over.
Yeah. Nice to be with you here.
Hello, Gonzalo.
I think that this investigation that we must do it like is something that it has to be done like in a spirit of just investigation. It's not something that comes from a personal
Yes.
interest. It's more like a interest in the truth, or what you call the love for the truth, because if we do this from a personal point of view, it becomes something more like what can I get out of this?
Yes.
And as you were mentioning before, because I was listening, this is not done to acquire anything, to be more this or more that or anything. It's just to realize the truth, and the truth has nothing to do with me or you or any other person. It's something totally impersonal, right? And,
Yeah.
and it has to, like in investigation, it's like an inquiry that permanently goes on, and to the point that it comes. You don't have to call it. You don't have to call the investigation to go on, but it just takes you. You don't take it. It takes you completely.
Well, yes, we don't necessarily all start with the very high level of passion and love for truth. But the path starts with a glimpse in the truth. That's when the path starts. A glimpse in the truth refers to an insight that takes us out of the mind, out of our conventional perception, into the absolute, into the perception, the experience of the eternity and the infinity of consciousness. So that's a glimpse in our true nature, a glimpse in the self. No matter how it occurs, right? It's a non-event actually. It's not a mind event. Is required, is the start of the path, is the beginning of the journey. It is once there is a glimpse in our true nature, somehow it is not possible to continue along the path of ignorance fully and wholly in the path of ignorance. The path of ignorance being the belief, living from the belief that I am a body mind, a mortal entity. Then, as there is an interest in the truth, there is an interest in freedom, there is an interest in the happiness, in the freedom, and this interest is part of our life. It sort of nags us and keeps pulling at us, and as a result of this interest, there will be other insights that will follow. There are many small insights and some more important insights, but irrespective, they all work towards our interest in the truth becoming more and more fervent, more and more intense, until at some point we cannot be without the thought. We become truth lovers, where the love for truth and our interest in the truth and our passion for the truth is primordial. It's all that we're living, and so it seems that it starts from the personal and moves towards the impersonal, Gonzalo. Well, we know in fact that it's never personal, because the personal is an impression of separation. It's not an actual separation, but still maintaining that relative conversation, that it goes from first an insight into an interest in the truth, and the interest in the truth through other insights along the path lead us to our love for truth, where all we want is God. All we want is the Almighty, and it's not personal. Along this path, there might be moments in the journey where we identify with certain experiences. In other words, the mind transforms a non-experience into an experience by adding time and space to it and turning it into an event and attaching and identifying with it. That often occurs along the path. But as long as you hear the message that the okay, that was a phone being okay. Gonzalo, all right, gonna continue. I think Gonzalo got a phone call, but as long as you hear the message that the realization of our true nature is realized when we are fully established in causeless peace and happiness that does not waver, it does not come and go, does not depend on any relationship, does not depend on any event, does not depend on any circumstance. If you set yourself that as a goal, you will not accept any lesser understanding, and your path will continue to reveal to you what is needed, meaning it will continue to release and dissolve the false and lead you to the complete establishment as in your true nature. So yes, it is not a personal I'll read that in a minute. So it's not a personal journey. It might seem to be a personal journey, but as you're continuing, as you're proceeding, it becomes, you realize it's impersonal, and that realization is a very important realization. Lee just wrote a note saying if you want to mute your mic, hover the cursor near the top of the video, and the mice will appear that can be linked to mute. And right. So yeah, if you want to mute your mic, you just move your mouse over over the top of the video. And you know, loving the path is very beautiful, because it's very different from being focused on the end game, on the, you know, you're loving it all. At some point, you realize that it's just very lovely to be contemplating and to be conducting experiments, to be exploring from the impersonal perspective. So it's not just about getting there. It is we're always there. It's a love. It's a passion for truth, and passion is very lovely. I say there's a difference between passion for golf or passion for traveling, because when you have a passion for worldly events, your focus is on the worldly event that's constantly changing and shifting. It's impermanent. While passion for truth is passion for eternity, for what is eternal. So it doesn't go through ups and downs, except when you identify yourself with worldly events. But at some point, your identification with worldly events, or your interest in the worldly events, becomes less important, and your interest in the eternal, in God, in truth, becomes more important. This doesn't mean you don't have a wonderful time in the dream life. You have, it's actually quite the opposite, because once you are operating from love for what is, for reality, then the dream ceases to take you on a roller coaster. It's not that you become detached from the world. You are free from it. It's different from being detached.
Seems that everything is interesting. So it's so much interesting what is going on in the investigation or in the exploration.
Yes.
That the goal, I mean, the final goal, whatever you can call it, total establishing in our true nature, is not so important as what is happening right now, as what is as the investigation is discovering right now. The discovering right now is so interesting that you even forget about getting anywhere. Like that.
Yeah, right, because really there is nowhere to go. I mean, you are, you know, the aware presence. You are this consciousness. I mean, this consciousness, you know, we talk about being established, but being established as the aware presence that we are. So really, being established is more like you're leaving, like you are living in a castle, and you are, well, before, like, you used to leave the castle to go in the market because you think that you have no kitchen. You go down to the market to eat while you have a beautiful kitchen in your castle with, you have 4 chefs and they cook for you any meal you want. And you want a vegetarian, you want a raw food, whatever you want. You have a whole kitchen, but every day you forget that you have the kitchen and you go to the market. You walk all the way down to the market, and you buy the food and you eat it over there, and there is dust and trucks and cars, and while in your castle you have a beautiful dining room with birds and gardens and just very lovely. So being established is realizing, is sort of remembering that you have the kitchen. You don't need to go to the market every day. You don't need to go to have lunch and dinner and breakfast and the market every day. So it's more about not leaving, not leaving your true nature, meaning not identifying with objects, not identifying with things, not believing that your happiness is in something, thing being an object or being an experience or being a feeling or an emotion or an attainment, none of that. So it is more like realizing that you already are the fullness and the wholeness and the completeness right here, right now. This aware presence that is pristine, that is total presence, nothing lacking to it. So yes, Gonzalo, then you find it's just the interest and the fascination is ongoing.
And also, it's a realization that everything that everything is just pointing to that truth. So the interest is double. It's the interest in what is happening, but the interest is also because whatever is happening is pointing to what we are. Mm-hmm. So it becomes like a total experience, a double experience, mm-hmm. Experience in the phenomenal, but the also the pointing to what we are, the absolute or whatever. So you know, like before, it was just a segmented part. It was just a fascination for the phenomenal, but without the other. Mm-hmm. Now it's more complete. It's just
yeah. I mean, the interest becomes more in the sweetness, in the beauty, in the ease, in the peace. So the relationship, if you wanna, is talking about the relationship with the world, with events and relationships. It becomes more about the experience of the let's say the qualities of consciousness in the dream. And the qualities of consciousness are qualities of beauty, of truth, of tenderness, of patience, of listening, of intelligence, of humor. So the interest in the waking dream, or I would say the qualities of the waking dream become the qualities of ease, peace, the freedom. There is a mirror-like presence, a transparency presence, a sort of a effortless acceptance, but it's without separation. It's not like anything that I am doing. It's that's just the qualities of consciousness. When consciousness moves to the forefront, it moves to the forefront with all its qualities, like with all its perfume. It's not just presence. It is presence with a love and beauty and understanding and intelligence, and so there are all these. So the experience of the worldly experience becomes the experience of those qualities.
Yes, totally.
The love, the effortless, compassion meaning a passion for everyone and everything, and a peace above all is is a very it's the sense of freedom, of boundlessness and peace. That not unconditional peace. That does not depend on anything, on anybody, or it's consciousness recognizing itself as the wholeness, as the fullness, as the creator of all creations, lacking nothing.
It includes everything. Nothing is separate into this. It's just like it becomes like a total being of that. Without this and that are just one whole thing.
Yes, it is. I don't want to. It is what this experience right here, right now is. If I want to bring it back to in this very moment is a whole. Is a whole and complete. There is a completeness, an utter peace and tranquility, where there is nothing that is lacking in this moment. Nothing is missing, nothing is lacking. Every thought that arises is intimately made out of this moment. It's made out of this presence. It's made out of that peace and that tranquility. It's the eternal. I don't like to use the term now. I rarely use it, but it's just coming up right now. It's the eternal now. It's the eternal presence. It's the eternity of eternity. The eternity of being, the eternity of presence. And its limitlessness and its wholeness. The wholeness of being, of what we truly are. Lacks nothing. Is that the experience of wholeness? It's not in time. It's not a time event. Time events and seemingly the time, the impressions of time arise in it, out of it. So it's as if this eternity, out of it creates time. It creates the impression of time. The impression of separate events that have a distance between them. It says, okay, well, this is here and this is there, and there is a time distance between them. But this impression arises out of the eternity as a play, as a display, as images on the screen. And why not? That's the freedom of consciousness. God is absolute freedom, complete freedom. Nothing, there are no limits to God's creativity and freedom. And sense of play. You know, children, they love to play. Isn't it amazing? Like they play with a spoon. They play with the keys. They play and they just, they play. They love to play and create. They start putting the spoon in the trash can, and I don't know, they put some food on their hair. It's the freedom of consciousness. Of course, the parents go, no, 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 don't do that. Yeah, now because they have to wash the dishes, they have to wash the floor, now they have to wash their hair, they have to wash their clothes. But the play of consciousness is always creating, conceiving, creating, experiencing. Nothing limits that.
It seems that the search for truth is something really serious. Huh?
Serious.
Yeah, it has this, like a characteristic of seriousness.
But it might start that way. In the end, you're just giggling and laughing, Gonzalo.
Yeah. But for most of, I don't know, I don't remember. Yeah, probably it was really serious at the beginning, but for most of the people, it's something really like the most serious thing in the world.
Yeah.
So I laugh at that now. I mean, I laugh at whenever I become too serious about the search for truth or that, because this is really, as you were explaining, just a play of consciousness.
You know, like sometimes they say like sages are like little children, except they realize themselves. You know, children they just haven't realized their true nature yet. But in a way, sometimes they say like, they're like little children. They spontaneous, they're carefree. So yeah, I think we take ourselves too seriously. I mean, what is it that we're taking seriously? You know, my image. I want to make sure that you think the right things about me, that I'm saying intelligent things, and it's all nonsense. It's all images, really, that we're trying to protect ourselves from what? I mean, the thing is, when we are identified with the body, then really what we're trying to protect ourselves, we don't want to die, because we're identified with the body and we know the body's mortal, and so we're fighting a losing battle. But this identification is just a game, because we are not the body. That's the beauty of it. The body arises to you as an experience. You're not the body. So the game gets serious when we are identified with the body. When we're identified with the mortality, then, oh my God, it's very serious.
Very serious.
Very serious. Yeah, then it becomes very serious. I want to get you before you get me.
Exactly. Before I die, I will have to find out. Huh? Before I die.
Yes, before I die. Yes, exactly. I need to find out before I die. I as the body.
Exactly.
Yes, yes. I mean, having said that, like, once we become interested in the truth, we have our waking state is an ongoing laboratory for us to investigate. The core investigation is to investigate whether, in fact, there is a reality to separation. Whether in our experience, is there any reality to separation?
And you have a lot of opportunities to check that out, right?
Yes, you can check that out during your waking state. You can check it out. Ask yourself, is there any separation? What is separate from what? What is separation? Because that is the core belief in ignorance, is that I am a separate body mind and you are another, separate person. So it's very important in the waking state to investigate, is this true? Is there a reality to separation, or is it just a myth? Is it just a belief? You have to go to your experience. So you go to your experience and you investigate in your experience. What in my experience am I experiencing that is separate? What am I experiencing that is separate? you will find out that there is nothing that you experience that is separate. Everything you experience. You experience is not separate. How can you experience? How can you not experience something that you experience? I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. How can you experience something and it's separate?
Yeah, how can you be who you are not? Something like that.
Yeah, like you experience a perception, yes? So you look out and you perceive a tree. So you're experiencing your perception, and it's intimately you. Is there anything that you do not experience? Even a thought is a thought. Oh, I'm not experiencing New York City. Right now, I am not experiencing New York City. But right now, you are experiencing the thought of New York City. Because right now, New York City is a thought that is arising right here. Yes. So I am experiencing this thought, which is arising right here, which is called New York City. Now, if New York City has an actual reality, let's say that there is something real that is called New York City, and that New York City has a separate reality, has an independent reality. Okay? And if this very moment, there is a reality, which is a reality of consciousness. It's very important in investigating your experience, to look in your experience first of all. What is the reality of your experience? And we do this right here, right now. You look at the reality of your experience to realize that your experience is real, and the reality of your experience is the consciousness, is the awareness. Yes?
Yes.
So once we establish that consciousness is real, and that there is only one reality, not two realities, then the reality of New York City must be the reality of consciousness.
Yes.
The reality of that knows it, that knows New York City. You follow?
Yes, totally, yeah.
Now, if there were two realities, let's say there are two realities, then if there are two realities, then what would know these two realities? Because if you say there are two trees, there is a palm tree and an oak tree, okay? So there is something that knows the palm tree and the oak tree, and it's you. You
Yes.
see the palm tree, and you see the oak tree. So the question, if there are two realities, the reality of consciousness and the reality of New York City, two separate realities, what would know these two realities? There's something that would know these two realities. Whatever it is that knows these two realities is that reality, is that one reality, which we refer to as consciousness, awareness, presence, whatever, God, the absolute, beingness, Atman, whatever, yes? So now, that's one way of looking at it, of investigating. Now, also you could say, well, okay, if there are two realities, right? There is the reality of consciousness and the reality of New York City. Now, these two realities, they interact, meaning consciousness knows New York City. Yes? For these two realities to interact, like if me and you, we are two separate realities, okay? Reality of Magdi and reality of Gonzalo. And we interact like we're interacting now. That means that these two realities are connected by another reality that interacts, that the interactive reality, which is that one reality. So even even if you look at interaction between two separate realities, establishes that there is a higher reality, an interactive reality that embraces these realities.
Not only knows that, but it's the base of it.
Yes, yes. So we know that there is the reality of consciousness. Reality of consciousness being this reality right here, right now. The reality of our experience, not the reality of me, Magdi, personal experience, just the reality of awareness, the reality of consciousness. So the reality of consciousness, you could say that it's as if the reality of consciousness takes on the form, because we have the whole thing about form, so talking about form, takes on the form of a perception. Like a cloud in the sky takes on the form of an angel,
Right.
or takes on the form of a horse.
Right. And it's better to, in that way, it's more clear to say that it takes the form than to say that the consciousness is observing.
Right. Correct.
The perception.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
then it is a little separation there.
Yes.
It's
Correct.
better to express it that way.
Yes.
Consciousness takes the form of the perception, right?
Yes. Yes. Sometimes depending, what conversation you're having in the teaching, sometimes you are teaching at the interim conversation, because you're progressing, you're expounding.
Right. Yeah.
So, and sometimes it's appropriate to be making a pointer that is not a complete pointer, but it's appropriate at that time to sort of clarify a particular point. But yes,
I think it was in the last in your last hangout that you mentioned that that pointer, and it was more clear. It was more complete. It's not like something like there is a consciousness there that is perceiving everything and making everything possible or something like that.
yeah,
More like consciousness manifesting as this, as that, as the other. It's more like one movement and not two movements of something watching the other, something like that.
yeah. But, again, the realization of the truth is non-dual. It's a realization.
Yeah.
Non-duality, Advaita, non-duality. So first there is that I am consciousness, and then there is the world, perceiving the world or witnessing the world, and then I am everything. I am consciousness appearing as everywhere, as everything and everyone. One moment, Gonzalo. Let's see. Okay. 6. Okay. Okay. Betty. Okay. Okay. just had to. Betty was sending me a little note. I just had to add her. Okay.
So we are here from Costa Rica, Magdi.
Yes, hello. Alvaro, yes, I'm very...
Alvaro,
I have to learn a bit more Spanish. Yes, Alvaro.
Yes, the next hangout will be in Spanish. Right?
I have to take a week refresher or 2 weeks refresher so I can. I don't know, Alvaro. You're raising the stake too high very quickly. How about we do French and then we can go to Spanish?
Okay. One question about what you were talking with Gonzalo. There is this movement to say consciousness watching the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Still here there is duality, there is separation.
Right.
What has to happen for that separation breaks?
Yes.
Since it's not a voluntary, it's not my desire that will happen.
Right.
What has to happen? I want to ask you that.
Yes.
Please.
Well, okay, first, yes, it is your desire. Why not? Not your desire as Alvaro, but your desire as consciousness. Sure, because consciousness is free to forget itself and to desire to remember itself. So, just a little note. But coming to your question about that, how to go from consciousness is perceiving the world, is witnessing the world, to the merging where the world, the substance of the world, is consciousness. So there are a lot of hints that are given during satsang, Alvaro, about that. I talk about that, frequently. So you can conduct experiments in your waking state. It's more difficult to conduct experiments in your night dreams because the night dream is more elusive. So you have a more of a sense of continuity in the waking state than in the night dream. So you can conduct experiments during the waking state. One of the experiments you could conduct, and there are many you can conduct, is to, for example, ask yourself, in this very moment I'm perceiving this perception, yes? I'm looking at the screen. Where is this perception? You can ask yourself, where is this perception located? You can ask yourself, what is the distance between my perception, which is your experience right now? I'm not referring to an idea, I'm referring to your perception as your experience right now, this perception right now, this perception right now. What is the distance between this perception in your experience? In your experience, in your direct experience, what is the distance between this perception, your perception? It is your perception, right, Alvaro? It is your perception.
Yes, but
what is?
Sorry.
No, please go ahead.
Yeah, it's feel that it's not distance.
Yes.
There is no distance. It's
now,
just.
What do you mean by it feels like?
Well, feels. Sometimes I have problems with my English, you know, since my native is.
So tú puedes hablar en español.
Es como una.
No, I didn't mean it. I take it back.
No,
don't do that.
Esa realización, esa realization. That there is no separation between the perception and the perceiver.
No. Well, I want to keep it simple. Okay? It's just a simple experiment.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, you are perceiving your perception. You have a perception, right? Right now. And what you are perceiving right now is your perception.
Right.
Where is your perception?
Where is
it?
Here.
Okay. Where are you?
I mean, it's just perception.
I didn't ask what are you. I said, where are you? Okay. Let's put it another way. Okay. So right now, do you know, in your experience right now, do you know, if I ask you the question, I'm asking you the question, are you? In other words, do you know that you are right now? Not your name, not your age, not your gender.
Right.
I'm asking, do you know that you are right now?
Right. Yes.
So yes. Are you here? Your answer is yes. So you are here, yes?
Yes.
And here does here mean in Costa Rica, or does here means just here?
Just here.
Just here. There is just here. Costa Rica comes after. You know what I mean? That it's like, are you here? If I ask you, are you here?
Mm-hmm.
Are you here? What would be your answer? Are you here? I don't mean here in Costa Rica, just are you here?
Yes.
Yes, I am here. Yes, I am here. After the mind says, okay, but here is Costa Rica, but we're just staying with just the tip of the ice, the tip of we're just staying with the tip, with the directness. So are you here? Yes, I am here. And where are you here? And where is, okay, so that's established, right? That's clear that first, yes, you are, right? And secondly, yes, you are here.
Right.
We agree?
We agree.
Yeah, forget about Costa Rica or male or female or any of that. So next is, I want to turn my attention, our attention, to this perception. Right now, there is a perception.
Right.
Okay, let me, instead of a perception, let's take a sensation, all right? So you sense your feet on the floor, yes?
Okay.
So there is a sensation. Yes, Alvaro?
Yes.
The sensation of your feet on the floor. Yes?
Right.
Now, you perceive the sensation, yes?
Yes.
And
yes.
You are perceiving your sensation, yes?
Yes. Right.
So, how far apart is your sensation from you? How far is your sensation from you?
No, there is no far, no distance.
No distance. There is no distance.
No.
So this is like a simple experiment you can conduct.
Right.
That basically tells you, and it's not about listening to me or being convinced by what I'm saying. You have to see it for yourself, Alvaro, that in fact, you are not apart from your sensation. You're experiencing your sensation as the distance between you and your sensation is zero, yes?
Right.
When there is zero distance between two objects, that means they are the same object.
Okay. Right.
Zero distance means sameness.
Yes.
So your feet on the floor, the floor, the sensation, this perception, and you are one.
Right.
You are not two. You are not perceiving.
Yes.
I'm trying to come to your question.
Right.
Your question was, how do I go from I am witnessing, I as consciousness, I'm witnessing the world, to I am the world? So if you turn your attention to, take a thought right now, the thought, I am in Costa Rica. Yes?
Yes.
That thought is, you are perceiving this thought, yes?
Yes.
How far is this thought from you? What's the distance between the thought and you?
No. It's the same with sensation, no distance.
Right? No distance. So therefore the thought is made out of you.
Yeah. Yes.
I like the, in the night dream, in the night dream, you dream of a pink elephant, right?
Right.
And the pink elephant is made out of you. Right?
Right.
I mean, it's made out of you. It's a thought made out of you. Let's say that you dream of, a pink elephant, and you dream of a tiger. Okay? What is the distance between the pink elephant and the tiger?
Yeah, there is no distance.
There is no distance. They're both made out of you. They're both.
Yes, they're together.
Even to say that together is even too much.
Yeah.
So you can experiment. You can conduct experiments like that. It's like, okay, you look at the tree. You look out the window and you see a tree and a car.
Right.
You ask yourself, what is the distance between the tree and the car in my perception, in my dream? Imagine that you are you're looking right now, you as awareness are perceiving the tree and the car, and you ask yourself, imagine the tree is a pink elephant and the car is a tiger. And you, as consciousness, you're perceiving all of that. You're dreaming both of those. What is the distance between the pink elephant and the tiger in your dream? None.
None. Clear. Right. It's the same with this objects, not dreaming in the mind, not the objects that.
What objects?
Well, we call objects. So I need to use this word.
Tell me what objects. Be specific. I'm here with you. What object? Tell me.
Okay.
Show me. What?
I use objects, but it's only this perception of.
Yes, there is a perception. You never experience an object. You only perceive a perception of an object or a sensation. Take your chair now. Your chair, it's an object, right? What do you perceive? A perception, yes, your perception, and you touch it. It's a sensation,
right?
So, okay, let's just take the perception of the chair. Look at the chair, and you perceive this perception. You're perceiving the sensation. What is the distance between the perception and you?
No. Yes, no distance. No distance.
And what is the distance between the sensation? Because you sense your body on the chair. What is the distance between the sensation and you?
Right, there's no distance either.
So an object, we never experience an object. An object is a mentation. It's a thought. And there is no distance between a thought and you.
Right.
This is why it is said there is only one reality. There's only one substance, which is the reality of consciousness. These are not empty words.
Right.
These are words that are spoken by the sages. They're spoken, they're truth.
This is like saying there is no as you perceiving, but it's only perception.
Yes, you only perceive your perception. You don't perceive any objects, but your perceptions is made out of yourself, is consciousness.
Right.
You are consciousness. Right now, perceiving awareness, whatever you want to use, awareness, consciousness, presence, it doesn't matter what term you use. That's what right now is perceiving. This perception is awareness, presence, consciousness. And yes, you are perceiving your perception, and your perception is made out of you, and you are this presence, this consciousness. So perception is consciousness, the substance, only one substance, only one reality, which is the reality of consciousness.
Yeah, this is where the word vital has the total significance or meaning, right? Like
yes, in that realization.
In this realization, these experiments are really very clear, very point to that constantly. Yeah,
exactly. That's the Advaita has its significance in that understanding, and it has its taste, its flavor as the abiding, the dissolution of all the vasanas. And that's the experience of, it's really not an experience. I use the word experience, but make no mistake, it's not a mind experience. It is the revelation of our true nature, which is freedom, peace, and happiness. Causeless freedom, peace, and happiness. It's really beyond words. I am just with words coming as close as I can to speak to something that is not of words.
Right.
This is where you use the word revelation instead of experience
to
make it more clear that it has nothing to do with time, space, but it's something beyond that. Huh?
Yes, Gonzalo. It's not right. It's a non-event. Yes.
A non-event.
The mind is not present.
Right.
It's not present. It's only consciousness. Only consciousness is only the reality of consciousness, and the experience of that reality is the peace and the happiness, the freedom, the joy, the bliss, the grace, and the sweetness, and the beauty of that reality.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Magdi.
You're welcome, Alvaro.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Very nice. Yes.
Experimento.
Yes. So, right. And there are many hints that, but it's very interesting about once you get it, then, once you get the joke, then it's laughter.
Oh, Alvaro knows about laughter.
Yeah. It's what you were saying before, it's insight after insight after insight, right? That at some point, whatever. Right?
Yes, but Alvaro.
Yeah.
Separation has zero reality. It's never been real. It has never, there's never been separation. There has never, ever, ever, ever been separation. And scientists are looking for matter, which is some object. You know, they're looking for matter. They will be looking in another zillion years, and they will not find matter, because there's never been separation. There is no such thing as anything. So you do not exist as an object. You've never been an object. Consciousness has never been an object. Never. It's ever been eternal consciousness, manifesting as this dream and playing the game of forgetting itself, going into the world of forms and objects and coming back.
So actually what we call, well, when you were saying, what we call objects is just a thought, a projection of the mind to try to explain what.
And where is that projection, Gonzalo? What is it made of?
The only substance that we are is no other.
What is it made of?
Everything is made of the same.
Is it not thought and sensation and yes? Yes. No. What? You can project anything you want. Where do you project it, Gonzalo? Right here, right now. What is it made out of? It's made out of your own presence, your own awareness, your own perception, your own knowingness. Any thought, and you can project whatever you want to project. It's just a thought that's made out of yourself. It's at zero distance from yourself. It's made out of yourself. It's like the distance between the pink elephant and the tiger in the dream.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, blessings. Very lovely to be with you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Magdi.
Okay, very lovely. Thank you. Very lovely. And hello, Costa Rica, all the Costa Rican friends. Beautiful. Gracias. Hasta luego.
Bye.
Okay. See you, Lee. Goodbye, everybody.